Since we kicked it, you've been caught up.
Hello everyone and welcome to Soul Show, and today we are doing a very short and simple sweet movie review for the recent film A Wrinkle in Time. I couldn't even say it without coughing. It was this movie was disgusting. So A Wrinkle in Time is the most recent thing that Disney has decided to throw its millions of dollars at. And this one, it's based on a book, and I, as a person, I used to really care about source material, but now I'm like, who gives a shit anymore? I can't even watch a movie without it being based on some bullshit source material. So this movie is about a couple of children, and their father is a scientist, doctor, inventor, whatever. He makes a living, I guess, somehow, and he's created a device that he thinks will allow him to go to other dimensions, worlds, whatever the fuck they are. And we assume that's what he did because he just one day disappears, and 4 years later, his daughter is getting picked on at school. Everyone thinks it's so funny that your dad just disappeared, and they go through cliche bullying arcs, and the other kid, who is their adopted son, I really fucking hate this kid. But then one day, that little boy, his name's Charles Wallace, that is his name, that is what we're gonna call him for the duration of this movie, Charles Wallace. He basically is randomly friends with these middle-aged women who are dressed like crazy motherfucking gypsies mixed with, I don't even know. And basically they're like, oh, come to this magical place. Hopefully your father will be there. And they go to this magical world. There's this random teenage boy who tags along so the main girl can have something to look at. They get there and basically they go on a quest to find her dad. There's an antagonist introduced. This movie sucks. It is a bad movie. But there's enough qualities that are, enjoyable that I'm not going to give it a really low score. For instance, the Charles Wallace character is awful. He is that age that children are when they are just despicable, terrible humans. They're not like little babies anymore. They're humans, and they speak, and they function, but everything that comes out of their mouth annoys me and upsets me. And that is exactly what happened. And he is in this entire movie. From beginning to end, he is on screen talking, making facial expressions, acting. No, he shouldn't be doing any of these things. His sister, she was actually a pretty good actress. The teenage boy that they dragged along with, his expression was just kind of like, he didn't do that much. I don't know why he tagged along. He's like, fuck it, I got nothing better to do today. So, literally, the reason he's in this film is he walked up and was like, hey, I feel like I should be here for some reason. Why should you be here? You didn't do anything. Did destiny just decide that, hey, you should be here today? No, that's not how that works. And oh my god, so, these three little fairy godmother characters. Their names are Mrs. Who, Mrs. What's-It, and I don't even know the other one. What kind of characters are these? We have Oprah Winfrey dressed like a magical fairyland gypsy with fucking golden unibrow on. She's just like 200 feet tall in a backyard looking ridiculous. Oprah Winfrey was a worse actress than the small little girl character in this movie. Oprah Winfrey, for some reason, there was this one scene where, because she's 100 feet tall, the little boy, Charles Wallace, was like, and went along her face, and she was like, it was terrible. This is a terrible, terrible idea. And this movie, it's so weird. This movie has a lot of scenes that look really eye-popping. They really grab your attention. Really cool visuals. And then there are some scenes, like the first scene where they're in Narnia or Magical Kingdom, wherever the fuck they are. They rise up and look around and they're like, whoa, look at all these special effects. And literally I was like, You're on some green screen platform. I can see it. Like, it doesn't look real at all. It looks like you're on a fucking plain grass and there's, like, magical effects behind you. It looks fake as fuck. A lot of this film just looks fake. I did say there was a couple of good things about this film, and that's why I'm not going to give it, like, a 2 out of 10. First off, Zach Galifianakis makes a cameo in this movie. He was really enjoyable. I'm upset that he had to share scenes with characters that I hate. Another aspect of this film was it was really trippy and there was a lot of like really cool ideas. A lot of things like the flowers, I thought, oh, that was cool. Little things like how when they're trying to find the bad guy's like lair, you could call it that, they're going from like random place to random place. There's a lot of cool ideas in there. I thought some aspects of this movie like could have been used for like an actually good movie. A lot of what the main girl, she feels like, she can't wait to, she can't find her dad. And by the time that the film wrapped up that arc, I was like, hey, that warmed my heart just enough that I'm not gonna give this a shitty review. And, you know, that's something. And the rest of this movie was just bleh. There was corny pop songs playing over generic Disney bleh bleh bleh. And I really hate little things about this movie. Like, there's one character who's introduced, and literally this is the framing of how they introduce him. You introduce a character by, like, having a close-up right up on their face. So I don't even know who the fuck's face I'm looking at. They're just like, hey. Like, imagine if I started a review and I was like, hey guys, today we're doing a fucking review of A Wrinkle in Time. How are you guys doing? If you're going to introduce a character, you can't just put their face, like, right up to the screen. I gotta understand who they are. I gotta look at them. I'm gonna give A Wrinkle in Time a 5 out of 10. Although it was just kind of a dumb, corny kids movie, at the same time, there was an aspect or two where I was like, hey, that had potential. And a lot of the corny stuff, you know, I was really just letting it slide. I was like, whatever, it's a dumb movie. That being said, though, it's Disney. I know they have the money. I know that there was some talent here. Like, we could have made something with this, but we didn't. We have a bleh 5 out of 10 average movie. So, those are my thoughts on A Wrinkle in Time. Guys, you are free to check out my social media down below, and while you're down there, why don't you hit up that comment section. Anyway, I'll see you guys with another movie review soon, and until then, thank you for watching, and with that, I leave you.